What's up, fan universe? I am here. I am ready for the first ever NBA show in the Faniverse. I'm excited to get started with NBA stuff. I want to give a little bit of background because it occurred to me that over time, I think people have started thinking of me more as an NFL guy, which makes sense. I've been a maker in NFL. I've been big showdown, a couple of showdowns. There's a lot of my successes come in the NFL. My two biggest wins have been in NFL. So I think people have thought of me, started thinking of me more as an NFL DFS player. I actually got my start in the NBA DFS, and I told this story recently. Just to give you a little bit of, is it my sound or yours? That's not right. Can you hear me, DJB? People are saying I'm sounding like a robot. All right, my mic had just been unplugged. Give me 1 second here. Bad time yet. Like literally just before I started, I got a notification that my mic was unplugged. So let me go check this.
Is this any better? Testing. Can you hear me? Do I sound better? Do I still sound like a robot? Let me know how I sound. Hopefully it's better. Now I'm going to open my Shure app, which I haven't had to do in a long time, but see if there's anything I can do there. All right. Carlos says that I sound fine. Quality better, just low. Okay. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I'm the volume looks wrong now. So give me 1 second. Okay. Better? I just turned it up a bit. Okay. Sorry. Hopefully I don't sound like I'm shouting now that I turned it up. Okay. So just to give you a little bit of background, I started playing NBA DFS. It was actually the first DFS I started playing. I was obsessed with fantasy sports. My younger brother kept on inviting me over to his place to watch Timberwolves games. He was a huge Timberwolves fan. At the time, I had not really watched basketball much in about a decade. So this is 2013. I had been a huge Bulls fan in the 90s, like everybody else. Huge Scottie Pippen fan, so I followed him around. I was a fan of the Blazers and the Rockets while Scottie Pippen was there. But then I went off to college, and everybody was baseball fans, and I just became kind of a baseball fan in starting around 2006, and kind of lost my basketball fan overall. 2013, my brother invited me over to his place to watch Timberwolves games. So I started playing NBA DFS just as a this will give me a reason to care about the Timberwolves. I had not been a Timberwolves fan. I've since become a pretty huge Timberwolves fan. So over the past little over a decade, I've gotten super into not just NBA DFS, but I split season tickets to the Timberwolves with a few of my friends. I go to 12 to 14 Timberwolves games per year, depending on if they make the playoffs or how deep they go into the playoffs. Last year, probably more than that. But I'm a pretty big basketball fan. However, I do have to say I feel super rusty. So for 9-10 years, I played NBA DFS literally every day. I was obsessed with it. I thought about it in my sleep. It was just a huge part of my life. But over the past couple of years, because I've been asked to do a lot more NFL content and it overlaps a bit, once NFL starts winding down, I always feel like I'm a little bit behind in NBA stuff. So even though I am a fan and I love playing NBA DFS, I just checked that I'm coming up on 150,000 NBA DFS entries lifetime. I'm sure I'll reach that this month, next month. I feel pretty rusty at this point because I've been so NFL centric most of this year. I've been doing some NBA DFS content for Rotogrinders, but it still feels like every day that I do NBA DFS content, I feel like I'm starting fresh because a lot of the time it's I haven't played in a couple days. I don't know everything that's happened the past couple days. I'm sort of loosely paying attention, but I always feel like I am a little bit rusty. So hopefully I can get into the flow of it a little bit more now with NFL really winding down. Hopefully I can play every day and get more into it. With all of that said, I feel good about the process here because I have great tools at my disposal. The biggest one, well, you can see on the screen right now, this is Unabated. I am going to be doing at least a weekly show talking about Unabated tools. I am an Unabated affiliate, and I'm really excited about their products. And they told me about some things that they were going to have coming out when I talked to them months ago, and I was like, all right, that's cool if it actually happens. A lot of places make promises and don't come through with some of the things they say. Well, Unabated has consistently everything they say, we're going to do this, they have done it. So I am excited to talk about Unabated tools, and just to give you the shorthand of what is available at Unabated. I just got an email. I was talking with them, so I'll just read off what he said in the email. Our weekly, monthly, and annual NBA package includes player prop projections, conditional projections, access to our news channel, which is faster than Underdog. That is true. Like I've been noticing, they come out. If we get Steph Curry out, I'll get that news through the Discord at Unabated before I'll get it on Twitter, which is pretty cool. And then, of course, they have premium live shows with their NBA team, which includes some really sharp NBA minds, including Justin Fan and their DFS projections. The thing that I am most excited about with Unabated is they give you updates when a player is ruled out. So like if a player is ruled out, sometimes it can be hard. It's always been a struggle for me not knowing, have they updated the projections for this yet at other places. They don't tell you, like, we've updated our projections for this. I keep refreshing and like kind of track that player or like related players. And sometimes the projections don't change because they were already anticipating that, but it's been kind of a headache. Whereas at Unabated, they actually have a Discord where they give you updates on, we have updated for this player being out. Or actually the bigger one that's a bigger headache for me is I don't always know who the sites are projecting to be the starting lineup. And they will just give you an update saying, we've updated the projections for the Atlanta Hawks starting lineup coming out. So I think that's really cool in their Discord. But this show, I'm going to start with talking about props. DFS Pick'em more specifically. I cannot sports bet here in Minnesota, so I haven't given a ton of thought to the sports betting aspect here. But this is kind of a hangout, play it by ear type of show. So if any of you have specific things you want to talk about, specific things you want to look at, I am happy to do so. And I just did that whole spiel on Unabated. I should say you can use promo code Flannel or the link in the description of this video. You'll get $10 off whatever period you want to sign up for. So if you want to sign up for a month-long subscription, you'll get $10 off each month. If you sign up for a week-long subscription, $10 off each week, etc., etc. So yeah, you can use promo code Flannel or link in the description if you want to check out the Unabated tools for yourself. I do think that they are very cool. But this is where we're going to start, is at Unabated. And the other thing that I think is very cool at Unabated is they have conditional projections. So like as you can see here, you can project for questionable players, Cole Anthony, in or out when you're looking at their pick'em stuff, which can be helpful. A lot of the times the sites try to avoid players in games with really impactful questionable players, but you can still find them from time to time. So I think those are very useful, even more useful in the sports betting market where they are going to keep some lines up anyway. But I'm going to go to the Pick'em site and try to build out a Pick'em card here. I probably will only actually play the pick six ones. We can take a look at all the sites. Again, whatever you guys want to take a look at, happy to look at them. But I'm probably only actually going to play on pick six myself. So I'm going to choose that. Maybe I'll do Underdog too, actually. Probably won't do PrizePicks myself. I might do Underdog and pick six. So I'm going to start with, and you can use, so this is kind of a cool thing. If you wanted to do, like if you have your own projections for props, like rebound props, assist props, all of that, you can put in, projections for rebounds, assists, etc. You can upload those yourself and you can weight them along with the Unabated projections, whatever else you want to do. There's also market-based projections. So they're looking at other sports books. So I can choose to, instead of using 100% just the Unabated projections, kind of smooth it out with market-based projections if you want to. So kind of a cool feature there. I think I'm just going to use Unabated projections in whole here though. And I'm going to go look at some of the best props here. Now, as you can see here, Jalen Johnson under 1.5 steals. That's a pretty big edge, 22.4%. That there is some, so that means it has. I like that they show you the probability once you put it in here. So this one has a nearly 65% chance of hitting. Man, RIP last year's DraftKings pick six where they did not remove stale lines. That was so great. I loved that so much when they wouldn't remove stale lines. They remove the stale lines now. So 65% is really good in the current iteration of any of these pick'em sites. It's tough, but I like that one. Looks really good. Jalen Johnson under on 1.5 steals. And now you can see the other edges here much lower. Dyson Daniels, Domantas Sabonis, etc. But let's play around with conditional projections here. Do we see anybody that's going to affect any of the top? I don't think anybody's going to affect any of the top values. And they have all of these. They have Cole Anthony. I think Cole Anthony probably not playing tonight. So I'm going to project him out and see if that changes anything. Doesn't change any of the top edges, which I kind of didn't think that it would here. So we have Jalen Johnson. I guess we could go. Oh, Kyrie Irving just moved. You can see the highlight there. So the over. I know overs are usually more fun for people if you're playing casually. This is obviously if you just want to have the best bets, you probably mostly just take the top ones here. You can find some correlations sometimes in these picks. I don't see any like obvious correlation. Let's see, Vic Krejci, lower points, Dyson Daniel. Yeah, sometimes I'll take like higher for points for one player on a team and higher for assists for another, that kind of thing. You can. I do like to try to correlate my cards here to some extent. But among these top ones, I'm not immediately saying, let's see, lower points on Dinwiddie. Yeah, the Dinwiddie lower is looking good. Kyrie higher is looking good. All right, I'm just going to throw in Dyson Daniels. Now we can see, I have at least two teams. So I'm going to throw in Domantas Sabonis, also lower 6.5 assists. So now I want to see what is it's not showing me the total. Normally it will show me. Let me see if I throw in one more, if that does anything. I swear a minute ago was showing. Maybe I need to turn off conditional pricing. All right. Well, you can see the individual probabilities of these bets, each of these for above 60% chance of hitting. I'm just going to clear this and try again. Okay, so now this one, Dyson Daniels. Okay, so these are higher edge bets. Okay, so I'm going to throw Dyson Daniels in there and Spencer Dinwiddie, Jalen Johnson, Chris Middleton, Koulibaly, and Duncan Robinson. All right, I'm not sure why that's not working. I want to refresh it real quick. Maybe I'm misremembering that it was available earlier. I'm going to go back to DraftKings Pick 6. Oh, maybe it doesn't do it. That's why it doesn't do it for DraftKings Pick 6 because it is peer-to-peer. I must have been playing on Underdog earlier. So let's take a look at Underdog NBA. That's my bad. All right, let's see. So I'm going to go with, for Underdog, looks like Spencer Dinwiddie, the top bet here. I'll go Dinwiddie, 12.4% for lower than 12.5 points. I'll throw in De'Aaron Fox higher than 2.5 turnovers for De'Aaron Fox. So now you're starting to see the total edge there. Throw in Daniel Gafford. We're up to 24% total edge by playing those three. Now, not a ton of great edge bets here. Now we're down to the edge is 2.5% on Jaylen Brown. Let's see if we add that. It actually lowers the edge. So this looks like a pretty good bet for Underdog, just going lower than 12.5 points on Spencer Dinwiddie, higher than 2.5 turnovers on De'Aaron Fox, and lower than 17.5 points plus assists for Daniel Gafford. All right, maybe I'll enter that one on Underdog. I'm going to check in on chat. How are you guys doing? Wagner just ruled in. Okay, nice. Yeah, what else? What else we have? Any other news coming in? I was hoping I scheduled this. This was kind of the only time I could make work. I'm hoping to have somebody from Unabated join me on a show soon. They've offered to have Justin or somebody join me on a show because they'll be better at talking about the tools than I am. Like I've looked at them a good amount. I've used them for Pick 6 a bit with some success, but I would really like to have somebody from Unabated join me for one of these shows, because I really do think that they have very cool products. I really enjoy the stuff that I have used. Of course, the biggest thing for me is always just looking at the projection updates and how things change when they update their projections. But it would be cool to have somebody from Unabated join me on one of these shows soon. All right, so I'm going to go with, all right, what's the fastest way to do this? And I have to remember what I'm doing. All right, so we got Dinwiddie lower than 12.5 points. De'Aaron Fox higher than 2.5 turnovers. Is it still there? There it is. Put it at the bottom. And then Daniel Gafford lower than 17.5 points plus assists. Let's find that. Okay. Let's put $20 on it. It'd be a 3x. I want to do standard for 120. Nice. Okay. There you go. So there's a card that is supported by the data at Unabated. Pretty cool. I haven't played a ton of Underdog pick'ems, if I'm being honest, and I don't see any reason not to. They have a pretty good selection there. I loved the peer-to-peer aspect of Pick 6 back when it was like truly peer-to-peer. These days it's sort of a mix of peer-to-peer and I don't know. It's been watered down a little bit, but maybe I'll start playing some of the other sites a little bit more. We don't, we're 10 more minutes until the next actual injury report comes out from the NBA. So we'll check that out once we get it. But I'll make another pick 6 card here. So go to NBA DFS pick'em. Oh, and I'm already there. I can just do it up here. Pick 6. So now again, they're not going to give you the total edge for pick 6 because it is peer-to-peer. So it's impossible to project or impossible to know, but I can feel pretty good about some of these. Man, Dinwiddie, this one just jumped to the top, lower than 4.5 assists. That must be a new line there. Then I'll throw in Jalen Johnson. Looks like we must have lost a different line that was at the top. Jalen Johnson lower than 1.5 steals. Dyson Daniels, this one's still 14% edge, lower than 5.5 rebounds. And then it gets a little bit thinner. But I'm going to throw in Jaylen Brown. That one has just a 58% probability of hitting. I kind of like doing 6 picks though, so maybe I'll do that anyway. De'Aaron Fox. I'm just going with the top ones here. Not even trying to correlate at all right now. Maybe I should be. But for the first card, I'm just going to play the best plays here. So Dinwiddie, lower assists. Trying to remember. Oh, there we go. Wait, it was 3.5 the line. 4.5 was the line. So we lost this line. Or maybe I need to refresh my pick 6. Maybe that's why that shot to the top. All right, let me try it. No, we lost that line. Bummer. Okay. So I'm going to remove that selection. Seems like it'd be good. I mean, he's projected for more than 3.5. Doesn't necessarily mean the over will look better, but all right. Is this one still live? 12.5 points. It is. All right, so I'm taking the lower there. Jalen Johnson, lower than 1.5 steals. Gotta remove the teams. Nice. Okay. Those two available. Dyson Daniels, lower than 5.5 rebounds. I have not gotten into the drafts on Underdog this year like I thought I would. Like I thought I was going to really attack it this year. I just been so busy with NFL stuff that I have not gotten into it as much as I hope to this year. So maybe now with NFL winding down, I'll get more into the Underdog NBA stuff. Jaylen Brown higher than 9.5 rebounds plus assists. Maybe there's a more efficient way of doing this. There we go. This one looking good. We're up to an 8x floor. De'Aaron Fox higher than 22.5 points. There we go. So most of these are still alive. And then one more, maybe. Dorian Finney-Smith higher than 8.5 points plus rebounds. Oops. Beauty. Look at that. Oh, I could have one more for a 40x multiplier. Do I want to do that? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I always do. Do I not have a Dinwiddie? Oh. Wait, did I add a Dinwiddie? I thought I had. Yeah, I just didn't have the card yet. Okay. So then Aaron Gordon would be the next best. Points plus rebounds over 13.5. There we go. And that one's a potential 40x, or I think a minimum 40x. So look at that. Looks in to win 2,000 plus. And now we pray. Seven pick card there. I mean, that's pretty big parlay. You need a lot to go right for that one to hit. Will be fun if it does. All right, what else do we want to look at? Anything else specifically? We've got 4 more minutes until the NBA injury. I guess we can look at what it was. What else can we see at Unabated? So they have, if you're into sports betting, they have just an odds page, which again, can't do this here in Minnesota. But here is the Unabated odds page, where you can see different lines at different books, compare them to each other. Props page, maybe more fun, because here you can use conditional projections. So if I choose conditional projections, and let's say I'm assuming Cole Anthony is out, I think sportsbooks probably are too. Oh, projected. All right, what do I have as my projection set? My custom. That's not what I want. Unabated NBA projections plus conditional. So here you can see where the lines move. I'm going to move Ayton in, Steph in, and see what happens. All right, so where's our biggest edge here? This is, I have not used this page, so I'm trying to parse what the biggest edges are here. This is where I probably need somebody from Unabated to show me. Simulate to determine best line. Okay. So they want me to simulate it. Toggle between showing edge, fair odds, and no sim. All right, I'm gonna. There we go. So Harrison Barnes under 4 rebounds at PrizePicks, based on that sim, has the 15% edge. Okay, I think I'm starting to get this. Thomas Bryant under 5 rebounds. Okay, so I just simulated. Oh, and I'm looking at just rebounds right now. Now I get what I'm doing here. I didn't realize I had rebound selected there. Okay, starting to get it. Anyway, cool tool to play around with. I'm not going to play around with it much because I cannot bet these in. I guess I could play the PrizePicks ones, but I think I can just find that easier in the Pick'em entry builder specifically. I think it's just easier. All right, let's see if anything changes. Pick 6, and now let's try smoothing it with the. I'm actually not sure if I can do the conditional projections with the market-based projections worked in there. So let's try that. Got to choose my league. All right, now conditional. If I go DeAndre Ayton out, Steph Curry out, then what happens? It doesn't really change the top here because the books kind of know not to put those lines up if they're going to be so contingent on a player being in or out. All right, we should be the 4:30, 5:30 Eastern injury report should be out any minute now. Wagner is only good for 26 or 29 fantasy points. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't looked at his projection for today. It says NFL guy doing NBA. Rewind to the beginning of the show. I have nearly 150,000 entries in NBA DFS lifetime. Now that's over 10 years I've been playing NBA DFS. But yeah, for most of my DFS, I don't know if I'd call it a career, but most of the time I've been playing DFS, I have been obsessed with NBA. And really, the only thing that has been holding me back the past 2 years is NFL. It's been like when I was working at Stochastic, like they put me on all the NFL shows. So then I just didn't have time to do NBA stuff. I was so like just researching NFL constantly. And then when NFL season's over, I like kind of jump in, but it felt a little bit rusty and like I didn't really know what was going on. And that's honestly how I'm feeling again this year, because this year I was doing so much NFL content for so many different sites. So I love NBA, but also when I like open a new slate, I'm always like, what's going on here? Like who's in, who's out? I think like there could be players who've been out for 2 weeks and I have missed it because I've only played NBA DFS 3 times in the past 2 weeks. I don't know. So I'm not as on top of it as I was when I was super obsessed with NBA, but hoping to get back there because I still think there is edge in NBA DFS. I think it's gotten a lot better than it was a few years ago, or worse, I guess, for us. I think the field has gotten a lot better, where most players are pretty good at reacting to late news and that kind of stuff. But I still do love NBA DFS. I think the underdog games, I want to lean into them a little bit more because I think they're interesting. It's kind of a different way of playing with no salary cap. And player props, I haven't gotten into. I've kind of stopped playing pick 6 as much since they dropped the static lines and have made so many changes that I have not liked, and I've told them that I don't like a lot of the changes they made. But it's still like you can see where we're seeing it here at Unabated. There's still edge to be had there. It's just not as high as it once was, and it's not as fun because when they had the static lines pick overs, it was just some of the biggest edge was just, oh, that player's out, so that line that doesn't move when a player's removed is just like a no-brainer, and then you could just cheer for overs. So it was a lot of fun for those of us, for anybody playing NBA Pick 6 last year. Now without the static lines, in my opinion, it is less fun, but you can still find edge more so in unders. But as you can see here, there's still some overs available. So yeah, not entirely an NFL guy doing NBA, even though that has been more my focus over the past couple of years. All right, what else? Do you want to do any underdog drafts? Actually, I don't know if I can show you the Unabated Discord, so I'm not going to. But I'm just looking at they have an NBA projection updates page, where they just tell you, so Golden State Warriors projection available as of this minute, like literally this minute, just got an update to the Golden State Warriors projection. 18 minutes ago, there was an update to the Clippers projection. Another 27 minutes ago, there was an update to the Celtics projection, and they'll tell you if it's like, so on at I guess this must have been last night. We got an update and they gave the note: Boston projection updated for Porzingis, Holiday, Horford out, starters TBD, and they give you kind of all the details that you need. They also have a NBA news. There's an NBA projection release page where they go team by team to kind of give you the rundown of those teams. They tell you if this team is on the back-to-back, who's questionable, who's out, which is really helpful. I honestly just discovered this yesterday. It's something that I could have been using all along, just to give me this quick little overview of what this slate looks like. Of course, it comes out in the afternoon. It's not something you have in the morning. This one came out at 2:40 today, but very helpful from SBK, who I think went to Unabated from Rotogrinders. Joshua asked, Neil, would you ever take on an unpaid intern? Yeah. Yes, I would. You want to do some free work? Sure. But let's keep looking, I guess, at these tools. And I'm just gonna update this stuff. Let me see if the injury report is actually new. So we had a 4:30. Do we have a 5:30 yet? All right, 5:30 injury report is out. I'm assuming, like, if there was anything really notable, I'll probably get a note about it from Unabated, from their Discord. But let me just see if anything stands out here. A lot of Magic out. Franz, as noted, is available. Jonathan Isaac available. I'm trying to remember which teams I was. Oh, the Hawks. Don't think we had that injury report earlier in the day, but they're missing several players. The biggest one, Clint Capella, is going to make Okongwu looks awesome in DFS. Just looking at his projection relative to salary, obviously a lot of volatility there, because who knows if he's going to play, as many minutes as people are projecting him for. But that's an interesting one. Man, the Mavs, Luka out, Clay out, and then Najee out. A lot of players out for the Mavs. They are very shorthanded. So surprising to see that the Dinwiddie, all of the unders look so good. I guess not that surprising, because we do have Kyrie in, so maybe they were the lines were placed with the potential Kyrie being out, but still a lot of players out for the Mavs. OKC. See, speaking of, I was talking about how I feel out of the loop. There's another Nikola Jokic wannabe, Nikola Topic. What is going on here? There's so many variations. Jovic, Topic, the Heat, Jimmy Butler suspended. I feel, as a Timberwolves fan, I feel vindicated that everywhere he goes, he is clearly the problem, because he left the Timberwolves and everybody loved him. Everybody loved the story of, oh, Jimmy Butler and the backups, the third stringers, beat the starters in scrimmage, and everybody was like, oh, he's such an alpha. He just he's so cool. And I don't know. I feel like these days, a lot less beloved than he was in that time period, shortly after he left the Timberwolves. Of course, it came out that in that scrimmage, he didn't score a basket the entire scrimmage. Like, come on. People give this guy too much credit. Yeah, Josh, my DMs are open. If anybody wants to message me on Twitter, you are welcome to do so. All right. So I didn't know really what to expect from this show, just kind of looking at the tools. I think probably I'll try to get a little bit more organized next week, but I need to hear from anybody out there, any of you watching. What do you want from the show? Do you want me to talk NBA? I'm going to be doing a segment where I'm looking at some of the prop pick stuff with the Unabated tools. Obviously, that's going to be a big part of this show, but I can look at other stuff also. I have 2 affiliate deals in place for NBA, those being Unabated and Rotogrinders. So I can use all of the tools for Rotogrinders on this show also. So if we want to look at some DFS stuff, we can do that too. I am going to continue to familiarize myself with Unabated tools. I have, of course, can we get a live before lock show? I not today. I'm not going to be going for another hour and 20 minutes today. I've thought about doing it for NBA. I don't know. I'll have to think about that a little bit more. It is tough as a solo person, and you see Adam struggling with this. Adam Ship My Money like tries to do it, and I think he's gotten pretty consistent with putting like projections out there, but he does not do the shows every day. I'm not sure. I think I saw he did one today, but I can see how it would be a struggle to do an NBA show every day because there's just so many moving parts. It would also be something that so I do shows for Rotogrinders at least 1 to 2 days per week, typically, that go up until lock. So those days, obviously, I can't do it on my channel. Also, I don't know. At some point, maybe I'll start doing some more of those types of shows. But I also feel, like I said, like at this point, I feel kind of rusty. And I mean, I've never been somebody to do my own projections. So it's always been like I'm kind of reliant on the tools that I use for that type of stuff. But it's especially true now. Like if a player's ruled out, I'm like, I don't know what to do with that information because sometimes I'm like, generally know most of the like rotations, like who plays minutes on most teams, but I'm not like fully locked in like I am when I play every day for months. So then it's like, all right, well, we got a player ruled out 5 minutes before lock. I can't just immediately say, sometimes I can, because you can just look at Popcorn Machine and see like, what do the rotations look like? What's it going to look like when this player's out? Who's likely to benefit? So I know how to do it by looking at tools, but it's not like an instant thing for me, which would be tough, before lock. So I'd be more inclined to do it if I could do a live before lock show with somebody else. I prefer those shows in general, which is part of the reason I love doing the Rotogrinder shows, just like a few of us, and we can bounce ideas off each other. I can look stuff up while somebody else is talking, that kind of stuff, not dead air while I'm trying to look stuff up. But yeah, so I guess the answer is, yeah, I mean, I can do shows up until lock, but not today because it's an hour and 20 minutes until lock, and I am solo and I'm already kind of losing my voice. So probably not today. But I mean, if you want to talk some DFS, I can pull up the RG tools here and I'll refresh it for updated info. And this is FanDuel. I think most people are playing DraftKings, as am I. Oh, this is DraftKings. And thank God, I see my name here. I see myself, and I'm I don't have any players picked. It's because it's NFL. This is DraftKings NFL. Chose that wrong. DraftKings NBA. Say, well, that's supposed to be doing blurbs today, and I forgot what day is it. All right. So typically I like to start just to kind of get an idea of the slate. You can just start by sorting by points per dollar is usually a great way to start getting a look at the slate, which unfortunately the resolution of the screen that I use for shows is not the same as elsewhere. And this is always kind of a pain for me. I'm trying to figure out, this must be points per dollar. Nope. So they give you a lot of info here. Opto percentage, smash percentage. What I want to see is points per dollar. There we go, points per dollar. So the best point per dollar play on the slate is Olivier Prosper. Huh, interesting. Olivier Prosper, followed by Okongwu, who again, he's only 5,600. Smash 51% of the time for Okongwu. But let me move back over here. So RG has Okongwu in for, they have him in for just 30 minutes, which I think is like a fairly conservative minutes projection for Okongwu with Capella out, which is probably good to be conservative there because you're going to get a lot of Okongwu anyway at this projection. Quentin Grimes, man, that was, I played a lot of Quentin Grimes yesterday. That was a big letdown. 4,900 project for 32 minutes. Again, we saw tons of players out for Dallas. Kalel Ware, Obviously, you need to be careful, make sure that he is starting. I would be nervous about him if he's not starting again. Now that he's up to 5,700, I think the projection's would drop pretty dramatically if he does not end up starting. Zubats project for 40 fantasy points in 31 minutes. Is that just the matchup with Washington? Somebody out for Clippers. That seems like a hot projection. Maybe I'm wrong. PJ Tucker's out. Yeah. Zubats was out yesterday, right? Am I remembering right? Robert Williams at 3,200, projecting for 20 minutes and 18 fantasy points. And I should note, this is what I'm looking at right here is Rotogrinders lineup HQ, which you can also get $10 off of any Rotogrinders tool using the link in the description of this video, or again, promo code flannel anywhere. Works pretty much anywhere I have an affiliate deal. Had to change it at Fantasy Points, but other places the promo code flannel should work. Brandon says, if I had to choose all-time careers, I'm taking Khalil Ware over LeBum James. I'm not familiar with LeBum James. Rob Will starting for Ayton. Oh, is Ayton officially out? Not yet submitted, but it must be, the assumption is, I mean, he's only projected for 20 minutes. Okay, yeah, so they do have Ayton out. Klingon, I think, is also out, right? Yeah. So Robert Williams. I don't know. Is there minutes volatility there? I feel like there might be. Do I not have Popcorn Machine? I thought I pulled it up. Let's see. Okay, so Ayton was in the last game. Williams played 14 minutes. Sometimes I just like to pull up the game log. Played 20 minutes on the 18th. 18 on the 16th. So yeah, 20 minutes is, I mean, he hasn't played more than 20 since November 20th. Has DeAndre Ayton been out for any of these games? Let's see, on the 20th, the 18th. Sorry, on January 18th. Let's take a look. Okay, so this was without Ayton. He started and played 19.8 minutes. Did he have any fouls? Didn't have any fouls in the first period. One personal foul in the second quarter. Yes, it doesn't seem like he was limited by foul trouble. So I guess I can see why we have that 20-minute projection. And this one, what was the score here? It was kind of a blowout, so it's possible that he lose run in a blowout. He probably lost a little bit of run. Nah, but Simons kept playing. Like, if they're, yeah, I don't think Robert Williams would be the first one to be pulled in a blowout. So maybe not. But also, he's, probably not the player that they want in there if they're trying to catch up. You don't really want Robert Williams in that scenario. So they brought in Jabari Walker for him. I don't know. I think there's some volatility in that 20-minute projection, right? Like he could play 24, 25 minutes instead, and he would look pretty good. Less than 1 fantasy point per minute for Robert Williams. I think of him as being such a great fantasy producer, but I think it's just a kind of a wide. He like has his spike games. Oh, it's on Underdog. Okay. Well, then it's probably also I missed that update. Yep, just I've gotten multiple updates from the Unabated Discord, which I have notifications on for it, so I get to see whenever they have updates. Got Magic starting, Black, KCP, Wagner, Paolo, and Wendell Carter Jr. It's probably the thing that I like. I'm probably too excited about the updates every time they actually update things. I just think that it's like one of those things that is so simple, and I don't understand why every site does not do this, where they give this is what we change in our updates. I always want that in like best ball rankings, that kind of stuff. I feel like having a change log, which I think like ETR maybe did that with best ball. I think they might have done some kind of a change log at one point. I don't know if they still do it. But I would think it's super useful to just be able to go back and check like what changed, why did this change, why does this player suddenly look great? So I think it's super useful to have that info in the projections updates in the Discord. The latest is 5 minutes ago. Portland projected updated for Ayton out, Kamara and Murray still questionable. Okay, good to know. All right, I'm gonna do one more card before I get out of here. We'll do one more pick six probably, or maybe I'll do Underdog. I don't know. Let's see where the edge is. So I'm going to refresh. Don't even know if I need to do that. I just do it out of habit at this point. Going to go DraftKings pick six. Yeah, screw it. I'm just going to do full unabated NBA projections based. They're updated. Any big changes here? I'm going to look at the card that I've made and see if any of these are different from that card. If I can find it. Oh, here it is. All right, so let's see. Jalen Johnson, lower than 1.5 steals. That one's already on there. Did I have Middleton higher than 3.5 rebounds? No, so that's a new one. All right, good. So I'm going to put both. I'm going to put Jalen Johnson back in there. Obviously, if you're doing enough cards, you probably don't want to take the same things over and over. You want to like diversify a little bit for risk management. But I'm probably not going to do that many, or at least if I'm just doing a couple to start, I'll just start with some of the best. Jalen Williams, higher than 9.5 rebounds plus assists. Let me see. Did not have that one. So we have had some changes here. Spencer Dinwiddie, lower than 15.5 points plus rebounds. I think I might have had that one. Oh no, but I had 12.5 points is what I did for that one. DeAndre Hunter, lower than 2.5. Pretty sure I didn't have that one. Peyton Watson did not have that one. So it's actually the cards have changed pretty significantly since I made one 20 minutes ago or whatever. Pretty interesting. I didn't realize how quickly they update everything, both at pick six and then also at unabated responding to it. Kind of impressive. Some of the same, but a lot of nice new picks. All right, so maybe I'll make a new one. Jalen Johnson, lower steals. Chris Middleton, higher rebounds. All right. Good. J Dub, higher rebounds plus assists. Spencer Dinwiddie, lower points plus rebounds, 15.5. Probably a faster way to do this. DeAndre Hunter, lower than 2.5 3-pointers. Peyton Watson, lower than 7.5 points. Let's go. Two and a half was Hunter. Okay. All right. So now doing just 6 on this one. There we go. Another pick 6 card. Yeah, I'll do another underdog card, Chris. All right. So I'm going back to unabated. DFS pick. Oh, actually, let's do it up here. All right. So not a ton in terms of, I'm just going to remove that, in terms of the edge on underdog right now. Let me refresh. Apparently my mic is faulty. Can you hear me now? It looked like it was unplugged. This just started happening. I've been using this mic for 2 or 3 years now, and it seems like it's just starting to crap the bed. So let me double check it. All right, I've got the right mic here. Seems to me that you should be able to hear me now. All right, so at underdog, well, these look much better. Jonathan Isaac. Look at these edges. So just Jonathan Isaac looks like the big one. You probably want to get this one in quick because they're probably going to remove it. So lower than 14.5 points plus rebounds plus assists on Jonathan Isaac. 74% probability of hitting. Anthony Black, lower than 11.5 points. Keegan Murray, we can take an over here, higher than 6.5 rebounds plus assists. Bogdan, lower than 4.5 points plus rebounds. Oh, and I should say, do the tout thing. Just water this down however you want, right? That's what we got to say, right? We'll give you the picks. You just water them down. Alex Caruso, lower than 9.5 points plus assists. And then finally, Spencer Dinwiddie. Should we take another higher just for the fun of it? Let's do that instead. I'm going to take a higher than 12.5 points plus assists for Brolo. Oh, can you only do 5 on underdog? Total edge, 116%. All right, let's see. What's going on here? Maybe I need to refresh this. NBA. Cannot find Jonathan Isaac. So that one must have expired. Was not quick enough. Anthony Black. Or maybe I need to search by first name? No, those ones must have. Must have expired. Underdog. Huh. Yeah. So now they're showing the highest edge is Dinwiddie, lower than 12.5 points. Keegan Murray, higher than 6.5 rebounds plus assists. Spencer Dinwiddie, lower than 12.5 points, which I think that one was already, I looked at this one, I think. Oh yeah, I already added that. Never mind. Alex Caruso, lower than 9.5 points plus assists. Peyton Watson, lower than 7.5 points. And then finally, let's get an over here on points plus assists for Okongwu. There you go. And I'm going to go standard. Can I go standard here? Let's see. I got to go. I play 20, 20x. I could do flex on this one so I can get up to 10x, but you still get some money back if you don't get them all right. But I'm just going to do all of them. So these are the picks I did. Spencer Dinwiddie, lower than 12.5 points. Keegan Murray, higher than 6.5 rebounds plus assists. Alex Caruso, lower than 9.5 points plus assists. Peyton Watson, lower than 7.5 points. And Onyeka Okongwu, higher than 15.5 points plus assists. If you do all of those, the total edge that we see here per unabated is 53.3%. Now, to be clear, that doesn't mean that we have a 53.3% chance of hitting, but that the 20x payout is over time. This would be a strong bet. Doesn't mean it's likely to win today, because if you look at it, the best probability of any bet here, 61.5% for 61.43% to be more specific, for Keegan Murray to hit, 60% for Dinwiddie, rounding here, 60% for Caruso, 59% for Watson, and 59% for Okongwu. So this is a lot of better than coin flip bets, but none of them are like 90% hit. So it's a long shot, but over time, you're winning that 20x enough that this bet is worth it, according to those numbers. So that looks good. How do you like that one for Underdog? Cole Anthony out. Chris says looks like Orlando players are not there. I think that's probably because Cole Anthony was questionable. So I'm assuming that Underdog just, well, I can search it here. Here's some. Or do you mean not in unabated? If they're not in unabated, that just means that they're not the best bets. So let's see. Yeah, it looks like they have the bets here. They just don't show these bets as having edge. So I'm guessing that these are all, I mean, let's see. So I mean, they're all like 50-50. I'm going to remove these. Maybe they just don't give odds if they're not like among the best. All right, let's see. Existing entry added that removes the option for this player. Oh, I see. Because I already have him in there. Okay, so yeah, this one has. All right, so let me double check this. This one has Anthony Black higher than 15.5 points plus assists at 37.96%. So you would think then the lower 15.5 would be pretty good. Interesting. All right, let me try. So that one seems like a good one. I don't know. Maybe that just updated. Maybe that's why it's not showing up. Hmm. Yeah, so the lower is there. Oh, but it's not showing now. Yeah, I don't know. That's seems to be available on Underdog. Maybe it got pulled from Underdog now. Let's try to bet it. See what happens. We'll do that one plus one of the other top bets. So I'll go Keegan Murray. That's fun. I can take it higher. 6.5 rebounds plus assists. There. All right, it worked. But yeah, it's so they are showing up here. They're just not giving you numbers here. And I'm guessing that's just that the edge isn't big enough. Maybe things are changing too quickly. I don't know. But I think that looks like a good one to get in on with the news. Anthony's out. I kind of think these sites were probably assuming Cole Anthony out, so I'm not sure if there's much edge there. Probably just like a 50-50 case with Anthony Black. Yeah, because it's not showing any kind of edge on it either way. Oh, all right. So now it is. There you go. So this must be with the news that Cole Anthony was out. We just got, so the top bet for Anthony Black is higher than 3.5 assists. You can see how quickly they updated. Like we just got the news that Cole Anthony is out, and suddenly Anthony Black looks much better. So that's kind of cool. But interesting that this is the one, the assist one. So on the top, jumps to the top of the board. So yeah, I guess this is kind of a good show to do with news coming out. It'd be particularly useful if we get news that was not anticipated. Like I think the Cole Anthony being out was at least somewhat anticipated. Maybe the projections kind of hedge a little bit until we get that official news. But then if I were doing a show like this up until lock, waiting on some of that news, yeah, I don't know how quickly Unabated versus Underdog works. Like you need to hope that Unabated gets in there and changes their numbers like snap at a snap before Underdog can go and either remove the line or change the line. So I guess I don't know exactly how the process works there. Who's quicker to the draw? But that could be kind of useful. I guess in this case I was able to get an Anthony Black line in there. I assume you could have gotten this assist number in there also because it's at the top of the board. So that is pretty useful. All right. I've been going for over an hour. Just wanted to get things started. I was thinking this might be just a half an hour show. Just wanted to kind of take a look at some of the unabated tools. Took a brief look at some of the Rotogrinders tools also. I guess we can look at, so with Cole Anthony out, I can show you one of my favorite tools at Rotogrinders, which is NBA Court IQ. This is the on-off numbers. You can just go to Orlando Magic. Take Cole Anthony off the court, see who benefits. All right, and as you can see here, this is per 36 minutes. So obviously the usage isn't really dependent on per 36 minutes. Interesting. Nobody gets that high of a usage bump. The highest plus minus differentials on DraftKings, Corey Joseph gets the biggest boost with Cole Anthony off the court generally in terms of DraftKings fantasy points. I don't totally understand these numbers, like the per 36 minutes stuff. Like this does this mean I still don't understand if this is like specifically games where he's actually out versus just like not on the court. Which is something I need to get to the bottom of. The per game, because per 36, so you'd think it would be just when he's off the court, but I don't know that seems like a really high bump for Corey Joseph. Maybe it's right, but he also doesn't get that much of a difference in usage. So maybe it's just a small sample size. He happened to be hitting his shots in the couple stints he's done. I don't know. I'd have to look at that closer. So per game, Corey Joseph gets a 2.7 point bump. Interesting. All right. So this is a cool tool that you can find at Rotogrinders. This is Court IQ. Of course, they have this is Lineup HQ where you have projections. You can also, like if you want to know who Head Chopper likes on this slate, click his name. You can see his favorite players. I'm often on here also. And then you can see, some of them will have notes, right? Little blurbs on why you like specific players on that slate. It's kind of neat. For NFL, you can see the weather reports from Kevin Roth. It's kind of an all-in-one. So this is their optimizer. So this is how I've only actually used it for NFL Showdown so far. I should probably get used to figuring out how to use it best for NBA. It's a cool optimizer. I love it for NFL Showdown. It's kind of similar to all other optimizers where it starts with the default is it's going to give you the highest projected lineup, and then you make changes to tell it I want to correlate these players, anti-correlate these players. I want to limit the number of players on this team. I want to add in some randomness so I'm not getting the same players over and over, whatever it is, or min-max exposure to certain players. So it's a cool tool for making lineups for you, but also includes, as I said, like the notes on who some of the experts at Rotogrinders like, and some other information in there as well. You can see the implied team totals up here. So I like it. I think it's a cool feature, Lineup HQ. But anyway, I am going to get out of here. Appreciate many of you hanging out with me for this past hour, talking NBA for the very first time on this channel. It will be a regular thing. I'll be doing at least one of these shows per week. Maybe I'll start doing them a little bit more regularly. Also, haven't decided yet how much I'm going to be doing shows on this channel. Of course, I still do some content for Rotogrinders also, but hoping to sometime soon have somebody from Unabated come on who can kind of walk me through, do a smoother walkthrough of the Unabated tools, because the things that I use are I love them. I think they're great, but I also think that there is more at Unabated than I have really dug into, and it could be cool to have somebody who really knows the stuff talk through it with me, walk me through it, so that I can walk through it better in the future. So hopefully we will do that soon. But in the meantime, if you want to check out the Unabated tools for yourself, of course, you can use promo code Flannel for $10 off whatever period you sign up for, and it'll be for every single one of those. So if you sign up for a week, it's going to be $10 off, not just your first week, but any recurring week after that. If you sign up for a month, same thing. So check it out if you are interested in checking out Unabated. Get access to their Discord with all of their updates, etc., etc. That is the NBA Premium package, I believe. Yeah, it's the weekly, monthly, and annual NBA package. You can get $10 off using promo code Flannel and or the link in the description of this video. Same thing at Rotogrinders, $10 off your first period, just the first one for Rotogrinders. We can get $10 off using promo code Flannel. All right, that's going to do it for this show. I'll be back next week. Haven't figured out if it'll be on Thursday. Might do a different day next week. I'll let you know when I do that show. Maybe I'll do multiple. I don't know. Let me know if you would like to talk about some of this prop stuff. More happy to do more of these shows now that I have some more time on my hands. All right. Thanks, guys. Good luck tonight, and I will catch you later.